Hi, welcome to episode 199 of the Corner of Knit and Tea. My name's Laura. I'm also known as Fluffy K on Ravelry, Fluffy Kira on Twitter and Instagram. I blog over at thecornerofknitandtea.com, and that's where this episode's show notes will be. I have an Etsy shop called The Corner of Knit and Tea, where I sell my handspun yarns, and we have a Ravelry group called The Corner of Knit and Tea. Hi, how are you? It is Sunday, September 9th. And it has been a crazy day so far. I got up early this morning and did a 10K with my husband, which was okay. I walked. I came in super slow, but I did it. And I've been trying to do longer distances lately. So we did that, and actually we ended up doing it with a bunch of people he works with and then going out to brunch after. And we had alcoholic drinks at brunch, which was lovely, but then I came home and took a nap. So I think maybe next time I need to avoid the alcohol. So it was a lovely day so far. Yesterday I drove up north of Kansas City to St. Joe, Missouri. And I had a lovely lunch with Liz, who has been on the podcast with me before. And she is Liz FM on social media. And we had a nice time. She has been in Kansas, Missouri, dealing with family matters for a while, so it was nice to see her. And this past week was very nice. It was my first week working at home, which was certainly an adjustment. I also booked all my doctor's appointments for this past week, so I was in and out quite a bit. This next week will be my first full week mostly at home, which has been, like I said, very nice so far. Getting lots of things done and enjoying some mini spin breaks in between, and starting to think about other things that I can do, like design more, maybe submit articles to publications, some of those kinds of things. So hopefully I will have more things to share with you soon. My brain is kind of going crazy with everything that I could do out there and trying to do that. So let's start today. I received a lovely package in the mail yesterday from a dear friend across the pond, and it contained a lovely new mug. I really, really like this. It is a knitting mug, and it is from, it says, produced for Beyond Measure by Heraldic Pottery, and it is fine bone china, so it is beautiful. And a new mug, she said, needed some tea. So she also sent me the Bird and Blend Tea Company Strawberry Lemonade, which she said is local to her. And the ingredients are apple pieces, hibiscus, elderberries, rosehip, lime leaves, strawberry pieces, sunflower petals, orange peel, and other natural flavors. And then the other thing that I thought was really cool is it says everything about this carton is 100% biodegradable. The plastic-looking cellophane inner is actually made from renewable wood pulp. And it does. It looks like cellophane because you can see the tea in there. But it is really cool. So thank you so much, Marit. I talked to you yesterday, but thank you. And I am enjoying my new teacup, and I'm sure I'm going to enjoy my new tea. Ooh, yeah, that's really, really nice. I get a lot of the rosehip, but also some of the citrus. That is wonderful. And I'll have to check them out online and see if I can order, because you know I love ordering from different places. So let's talk about the knits and spins this week. The big thing that I am working on is my sweater for the Brown Sheep Knit Along. And that is our fall KCAL knitting and crochet along for sweaters. The sponsor, I am the host, and Brown Sheep is the sponsor. We got some wonderful prizes this week. We have prizes from Knitter's Pride and from Eucalan as well. And Brown Sheep is donating the grand prize, which is a sweater's quantity of Lamb's Pride. And if you haven't heard about it or haven't decided whether or not you're going to participate, you have some time. We started on September 1st and we run until November 30th. And any sweater, any size, any weight yarn, as long as it is a Brown Sheep yarn. So you are welcome to join us at any time, and the more the merrier. I have been working like gangbusters on mine because I was in the colorwork section, and of course colorwork is very potato chippy and very one more row. So I finished the colorwork section this week, which means now I may move a little bit more slowly. But I am using, and of course I didn't bring a label because I am using Brown Sheep Prairie Spun DK, which is a 3-ply woolen spun yarn. It is DK weight. It comes 260 yards to approximately 100 gram skein. My main color is this beautiful gray, which is Rain Cloud. And then my colorwork color is Coneflower, which is a magenta. And I finished the colorwork this week. So, like I said, potato chippy, one more row. I finished my colorwork yoke, and I have a few more short rows to do, and then I will be ready to split off the sleeves and work on the body. So the colorwork section is done. This is Humulus by Isabel Kramer, and same friend who sent me the mug told me that Humulus are hops, so that is the pattern depicted in there. I am super happy with my colorwork in the top part. I'm a little less happy with my colorwork in the bottom part of the yoke. The top part was the part above the diamonds, and then the bottom part is below the diamonds. Basically, it's still the same pattern. There were some increases in there, so the increased row I feel like is a little bit tight, and I feel like with all the stitches on the needle, they got bunched up, and maybe I wasn't quite as loose as I could have been. So I am hoping that a good blocking will block all of that out, because that is the only thing that I'm not 100% happy with. And I may actually divide the sleeves and then maybe put the yoke for a dunk and make sure that it is what I want it to be before I continue on down the body, just in case I want to pull it. But that is what I have so far, and of course that is the fun part, and now I'll just be knitting fairly plain knitting, so I pick up something else that's a little more complicated, since the body and the sleeves are pretty much a straight knit. But I am super happy with it. The yoke section is super warm because it is basically the yarn doubled. So this is going to be a really warm sweater, which I'm sure I am going to love when the weather gets cooler. The yarn is just a tiny bit scratchy. I'll probably wear like a shell underneath it, but it actually is very pleasing to work with. Not super splitty at all. It is nice and lightweight, which is one of those things you get from a woolen spun yarn because there's so much air in there, and I am super excited about this. So like I said, I have a few more short rows to do just to finish some of the shaping, and then I will divide for the sleeves, and I'll probably try it on and see how I feel, and like I said, maybe dunk it in the water and let the yoke block a little bit and see if I'm going to be happy with that. I think it's mostly the row, the increased row, where I just didn't leave enough of the pink, and hopefully, like I said, it will block out. So Humulus by Isabel Kramer, yarn is Prairie Spun DK by Brown Sheep. Needles, I just actually got some new needles and I am working with them. They are the ginger needles from Knitter's Pride, and I'm using size 6. I got an interchangeable set. It's one of those things, they are a client, so one of those perks is I get to use the new stuff, and I use it for photos as well. So I am testing them out, and they are beautifully, they're like a lacquered wood, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm using those for this, and I'm very pleased with those so far, and the joins are actually really, really nice. So that is that one. I guess the first knit I should have, usually I start with finished knits, and I kind of forgot that I had a finished knit over here. Last week I showed you I was making a little hat for Roxy, and it was called the Copycat Beanie, and it is by Emily Ingrid, and I used it out of some leftover yarn from her sweater, and it came out super cute. It is just a plain beanie, and then it has some garter stitch or reverse stockinette, and then some ribbing, and then I decided to do the big pom-pom at the top, and it came out super, super cute. The yarn is Treasure Goddess, Treasured Warmth Worsted, and the colorway is Song of the Sirens. It's the same as her sweater, but I had plenty left over, so I decided to make her a little hat. I guess this way it looks a little bit like a cupcake, but I thought it would be super cute for her, and I hope that she enjoys it. So that's a second hat for her. I need to do maybe one more each for her and for Miles, and then they will be pretty much set for winter. So that's nice. I know I'm early on that train, but I do try and get these done so that at the last minute I'm not feverishly knitting. So that one's for her. And then the final knit on my needles, I don't think I've made a ton of progress since I saw you last. Let me grab a sock blocker, excuse me. Oof. Okay. I am working on a sock blank from Zen Yarn Garden, and it is their lovely superfine base, superfine fingering base, which is 90% merino and 10% nylon. It is perfect for socks. I have also used it for shawls. It is super soft and squishy. Anyway, they sent me one of their new sock blanks. They are selling them now on Zulily. This week they had a huge chunk of them go up on Zulily, and then they will have some on their website soon. And they have created, I think, about 12 colorways to start. And they have also released a shawl pattern called Itty Bitty Picoty Shawl. I think that's what it's called, and it is designed to be knit with a sock blank all the way through, but I decided to turn mine into socks, and what you are looking at is actually, I basically just started. I've done the first couple rows of the heel flap last night. Let me flip this around. So I did the first couple rows of the heel flap last night, so not enough to really show you there, but this is the leg so far, and you can see that it is a nice gradient base. It goes from the really, really dark blue to lighter blue with more bits of white interspersed, and the ball is, now I'm fully into like the blue and white, and then the middle is black, and then the other end is purple. So the socks will be completely different, but that is fine. And like I said, I've just started the heel flap, so because I have small feet, so if I do the cuffs too long, I have two issues. One is that my calves show up, and so then they don't fit as well, and then the other issue is that I just think, proportionally speaking, using an 8 or 9 inch cuff when I only knit the foot for like 7 or 7.5 inches is just weird. So I usually end up with about a 6 inch cuff, 5 inch. Anyway, so that is where I'm at with that one, and I should work on that one more this week. I hope to have these done by the end of the month because I have another sock yarn I'd like to try out. But that is what I'm doing with these, and I'm really, really enjoying this. This is also kind of a potato chippy one more row knit to see what the color does. So hopefully I'll finish the heel flap in the next day or so and get this one knocked off the needles because I am eager to knit the next one. And actually from the next one, I may reverse the end of the ball because the deal is that the sock blank was like blue on one end and purple on the other, and it goes through black. And I was thinking that maybe I will start at the purple end and go towards the black as well, so that the black are my feet and the colors are my socks. But of course, like I said, they won't look, they'll be roughly fraternal, but kind of rough. So some of the sock blanks are done in colors that are a little bit more even on both sides. This one just happened to be like a stark gradient. So yeah. So that's what I'm working on there. Those are all the knits, although I will probably cast something else on this week because now that the sweater is in a point where I can work it not paying attention to it, you know, just round and round and round, because the body actually on that one is a little bit boxy, so it has no shaping. So basically, once I get below the armpits, if I'm happy with the way the color work is, then I'm just straight on down, and then I'll pick up the sleeves and kind of do basically, the sleeves do have some decreasing, but do basically the same thing. So I may cast on another knit, or I may pick up something that's been sitting in hibernation. I still have those 2 sweaters that I'm working on the side, so maybe I'll pick one of those up. But I'm so excited to do, I have a bunch of things I want to do. I still want to do that cowl with the minis that I spun up during Tour de Fleece. And I have a really awesome brioche shawl that I would really like to do. It is Sizzle Pop, and I actually tried to do it when I was first learning brioche, and it was a little bit too complicated for my first try, so I gave it up. But I still have the pattern, and I have 2 yarns that I really, really want to use, so I'm kind of into that. And now that it's going to be getting a little bit cooler, the walk today was awesome. It started at like 55 degrees, and I think it warmed up to maybe 65 by the time we were done. But it was nice and cool, and it reminded me of the fall days to come. So now I'm starting to want to knit like warm things, even though we're not done. It's supposed to be in the 80s this week, so it's not like we're really fall yet, but I'm thinking about it. So let's take a sip of tea, and then I will move on towards the spinning. There was spinning this week. I actually got quite a bit done because I can spin for a little bit in the middle of the day now, you know, for 10 minutes at lunch and 10 minutes between calls, and it's kind of nice. So I had last weekend I plied the Overgrown, which is a Tarhi base, and it was bright greens and yellows, and it's beautiful, and it is up in the shop. It is bright and springy. And then the next spin that I finished was an oldie but goodie that I pulled out of a box from 2012 with Nest fiber, and it is called Block Party, and it was pinks and purples and oranges and reds and a little bit of blue, and it came out gorgeously. I applied this last night, and I'm gonna let it have a bath today. I believe this is organic Polworth, so it will poof up just, it's either organic Polworth or Falkland, I cannot remember. So either way, it should poof up just a little bit. And then once it's done, I will photo and get that one listed in the shop. So this was a fun spin and nice colors, and I'm not usually an orange person, but man, that orange just sucked me right in. It's a really good kind of pumpkin-y color, and with the other colors, it's really gorgeous. So, of course, I feel like this camera doesn't do it justice. Of course, what I can see on the screen is not necessarily what you're seeing on your screen, but I will be washing this and getting this ready to go. Dug deep in the stash again. Since I've been moving everything around, I found boxes of fiber that I had some of my favorites that I had saved from clubs that I had sort of put away mentally until later. And so now it's later, and I'm pulling things out and enjoying getting reacquainted with it. And I'm not doing much fiber buying right now. I still have my Hello Yarn subscription, but that is pretty much it. Because I'm trying to cut back on expenses a little bit while I sort of make this adjustment in my employment. So I am enjoying going through all of my old stash and pulling out things that I sort of forgot I had. So this week I am spinning something from Southern Cross Fiber. I remember why I put it away, because it is these gorgeous fall colors. It is reds and purples and oranges, and it is called Fuego. It is so on fire, or fire, and it is from Southern Cross Fiber. It is Blue-Faced Leicester. And so this should be a lovely spin this week. I'm gonna pull it out, get it on the wheel, and this one will also go up into the shop. My guess is a bit of my spinning for the next little while will probably be shop spinning, although I do have some braids set aside to do some things for myself. So hopefully I'll have some time for that too. I'm hoping to sort of, in my extra bits of time, spend a lot of time spinning, stocking the shop, and then maybe getting in a few things for myself, because it's almost time to knit fall squishy socks. So that is what I will be spinning this week. So that is pretty much what I have for you. It wasn't a ton to show you, but of course I did all the color work on that yoke, so that was it's quite a bit of work this week, but it just doesn't feel like I have a ton of different things to show you. But I hope you're having a lovely week. Thank you for tuning in with me. If this was your first time, I hope you'll come back again. And if you are a returning viewer, thanks for spending more time with me. And I guess that's probably about it for today. I hope that you have a lovely week. Happy knitting and spinning. And I will say, until I see you again, as I always do, happy knitting, happy spinning, happy sipping. And I'll see you next time. Bye.